the referee to eject Nikola Vucevic. And then when you hear people say how bad the officiating has been this season, that's the type of goddamn play you're talking about. Like, I get it, giving Vuce a tech in that case because he's jaw jacking or something like that. But to eject the man in an important game for both teams trying to get to the play-in push, playoffs, whatever you want to call it, that is an utterly disgusting ass call by the referees. What the hell was that? What the hell was that? That's what you got for us? Come on, man. Like the NBA got to do something about this. That's just unacceptable. It's utterly unacceptable to give a player an ejection in an important game like that for that type of call. I could see if he was cursing. Hell, Vooch flicked off a referee and didn't get ejected, right? Didn't even get called. That was literally disgusting. I hate Tony Brothers. I literally hate Tony Brothers. That's stupid. That's what that was. Just downright stupid and idiotic call from the ref. And I hope to God the NBA does something about that. We got to stop trying to take the emotion out of the game. And that's what that was. It was really just came down to a player being emotional in an important game for their team. And you throw them out like they're trying to eliminate emotion from the game. And I do not like it. I don't appreciate it. I don't rock with it. And it ain't just because it's against the Bulls. Like, that was a disgusting call, man. And something got to be done about it. Something really has to be done about it. That's just unacceptable, fam. There's no way that was acceptable, man. But despite that, the Bulls have the lead, an 8-point lead going into halftime. A 16-4 run is what really got the lead down to what it was. The Bulls had a much larger lead at one point in this game. Kobe White is hot right now, 4 for 7 from the field, 10 points off the bench. I would assume he'll also hitting 2 big threes for the Bulls. He has 8 points off the bench. Zach LaVine, 6 for 8, being his efficient self again, 15 points. DeMar DeRozan's 3 of 6 for 6 points. But, man, it really does change the whole look of the game to not have Nikola Vucevic out there for the rest of the game. It changes the game completely, man. And I hope something happens, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I see people blaming Vooch. No, man, you can't. Rule, I'm sorry, you can't blame Vooch in a time like that. There's no way, no reason why Vooch should have been eliminated. Not in that case. That's uncalled for. That's uncalled for. Fred Van Fleet says it's a profit. Tony Brothers is a crazy ass referee. Listen, I said it as the game was. When I saw Tony Brothers out there, I said, "Oh, it's about to be an interesting game." That's crazy, man. That's wild, bro. That's just a bad call. That's a bad call. You can't blame Vooch for that. These are Warriors. They're battling out there. You're gonna show some emotion. You're going to show some emotion. There was no reason for him to be ejected. You can give him a tech. The tech, I would have been like, okay, ticky-tack, but you ejected him from the game. No warning, no nothing. You just ejected him from the game. And then people wonder why they say the referees are point shaving this season. Like it's funny how when the Bulls get a lead, right, a super big lead over the team, with the point spread being 6 points, all of a sudden now one of our key players, even though he hasn't been scoring very well, gets ejected from the game. No, man, come on, fam. I can't rock with that. Come on, man. I can understand the attack, but to get ejected in a case like that, no, man. That's wild, bro. That's a bad call. That's just a bad call, man. That's an extremely bad call. 8 lives in the building. Haven't seen 8 lives in a minute. Says Haize, I cannot boast about holding Kobe down for all these years through the bad times. He making me look good big time. Kobe looking great at point. Kobe's playing. I mean, he's having the best season of it. He's definitely having the best season. King Cap with a big that's a you got to eat that one, bro. That's tough. That's a tough one, brother. I can't even read that out loud, bro. You got to think before you type there, brother. Think before you type, man. That's crazy though, man. But I don't want to just focus on the tech. It sucks, but it is what it is. Yoslin says NBA coaches and players should all collectively take a stand and start talking about it in media after games. It shows they don't care being fined. Maybe NBA does something about it. This season has just been egregious. And I watch a lot of basketball. And like I said, it's not just the Bulls. It's been a lot of it, man. It's been a lot of bad calls by the referees over the course of the season. A lot of it. Nick Boswell says, actually, screw the Lakers, especially LeBron. I appreciate his game, but the league bends over backwards to make sure Bron sexuals get what they want and that the Lakers are always in games. That's That's tough, man. I mean, listen, the Lakers had a really tough start to the season, so I can't say that they always been to the will of the Lakers, but in LeBron, but man, even LeBron with that flop that got called on Pat Bev, man, it's just been tough. It's been tough. The Tony brothers also robbed us of a win in Cleveland. It's the same. See, I don't even remember him being there, but it wouldn't surprise me, man. Tony brothers is literally a menace, bro. He's a menace. We were smacking the Lakers and they didn't like it and they had to do something to make the game interesting. Shake my fucking head. It really and I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but you just got to look at the facts of it, man. That was nothing to be ejected in the game over. That was no reason to be ejected, man. None. Billy saw the bench going off and said, now let me take out the bench that's going off and put the starters back in. Well, I mean, you can't leave them I get riding the hot hand to a degree, but you do want to see if your starters can keep it up. You want to see if they can keep the pressure up. They are your starters for a reason. And there's been several games this season where the bench has really changed the tone of a game, and then the starters have come in and kept that kind of thing going. Now, you want to stagger when you return those players back in, but I'm not blaming them too much on that one. Caruso to make some shots. I mean, yeah, luckily Io's hitting the shots, but yeah. Cannon Peacock at the game today says, yo, I'm at the game. Awful refs today. Hey, what was the response from the audience when that happened, from the crowd? What was the response? Rick Sanders says, you can see really well that Kobe worked on his handles. Kobe worked on every aspect of his game. Every aspect of his game. And I'm really glad that his shot's starting to come along as well. Torrin says, I love the dog mentality we came out with. Hey, that was one of the things that we were looking for in the pregame show, is to say, how the Bulls didn't come out with a playoff mentality in the second game against the Philadelphia 76ers. How do they play better in this one with a game that's going to have a similar tone? It's going to be even more important to see how the Bulls come out in this game for the remaining of the game. Now that we have Vooch, we're not going to have Vooch the second half of the game. We really need to see that. Jello YT says, Tony Brothers is just a horrible ref, but I hate the Lakers. The fans so cocky, but I don't hate the team. I mean, I like a lot of the pieces on that team. I can't even lie now. I like a lot of the pieces on that team. I don't want to see Tony Brothers leave his house, put on clothes, brush his teeth, get out of bed, or even wake up from his dreams where he thinks he's a good ref. God damn, that's deep. All right, that's deep. Soul Child 20 says 2022-23 season has got to be the worst season when it comes to having horrible refs. It's been a bad season. It's been a terrible season when you look at officiating over the course of the NBA. And that's why I say this isn't just because it's Bulls. Officiating over the course of the season has been bad. Tony Brothers about to go to work in the second half. Hey, man, I wouldn't even be surprised. Would not be surprised. It's Seaway's World says, we're going to need Drummond to hold it down, but something about this call troubled my spirit. This game is very important. Your ego, the ref's ego, shouldn't be bigger than the game. 100% agree with you on this game. Now you got to look at it. We got Drummond. Drummond's had a history with foul trouble. We're going to need to rely on him. We have no big depth off the bench. I don't think is Marco active this game? Because if Marco's not active, we literally, if Drummond does get in foul trouble, we're probably looking at running Patrick Williams as a small ball center. Just keep that in mind and look out for that over the course of the second half of this game. Whenever Drummond needs a break and if he gets in foul trouble, we're probably running Patrick Williams as a small ball center. And that brings its own concerns, right? And this is why this is the type of game in which you would have liked to see Marco at least get some NBA minutes, because this is a game where his size and rebounding alone, even if you have problems with his defense, would have absolutely been needed, because we just need some size. One of the positions that we can't really weather any type of injury or something like this at is the big man position. So it's really going to be interesting. Well, they'll probably play Derrick Jones Jr. Billy Donovan has not been afraid to play DJJ at small ball center too. So look at that as well. But man, that's about to be tough. It's about to be a tough second half. 8 Live says, when Pat Bev starts talking ish, I knew Tony Brothers was going to ref one of these games. That's tough, man. That's tough. I definitely agree with you on that one. Melvin says, Adam Silver and the refs basically decided they want the Lakers to win this game. Hokage says, I'm interested to see how Io plays the rest of this game. I wonder if his confidence is back. I mean, hey, he hit 2 shots. Hopefully that has built the confidence, at least in this game, back. We'll see. Lil Bulls fan says, yo, Haize, it's been a minute. How you doing? I'm good, brother. How are you, fam? How are you? L's in the building. He says, not liking the officiating in this game. It's hard to. This is a bad officiated game. Haize, is Marco active today? We seriously might need him. I just talked about that. I don't know if he is. Hold on. Let me see if I can find. I'm not sure. No, he's not even listed on here. So Marco is not active this game. That sucks, man. So yeah, we're probably looking at DJJ and Patrick Williams being the backup center to Andre Drummond for the rest of this game. That's probably what we're looking at. Brian the Tryhard says stick to the script. Man, this is a toughly officiated game, man. Real tough. DJJ can't guard Davis. I wouldn't say that. Derrick Jones Jr.'s guarded center's bigger than Davis. We'll see. But again, I mean, it may not even be about guarding Davis at this point. It may be about you just got to weather the storm. You got to get some rebounds, what DJJ is going to do. That just may be what it is at this point in time. Terry Taylor available? No, he was not called up. Keep in mind, 2-way contract, so he's not out there. He's not available. Jonathan E. just said, IO got the Tony Snell call out. That was a crazy call. I can't believe somebody compared him to Tony Snell. J Max says, this game is a perfect game that demonstrates how we can use Marco. Billy Donovan needs to get off that ass. That's funny. I agree. And that's why I went on the little rant that I went on for sure. We always get horribly officiated games in the important games. That's from Debo's World. It's like, this is definitely this is a head scratching officiated game is all I can say. That's tough, man. That's real tough. It is what it is, though. Hey, at this point, the Bulls got to find a way to dig in. This is more adversity. If the Bulls can find a way to deal with this adversity with the officials and Vooch being out the rest of the game, that's just something else that they can show and help build their confidence heading towards the play-in. So let's hope that happens. You sure Marco isn't active? I could have sworn I saw him on the bench. He could be on the bench, but he's not listed as active. If he was active, he would have to be listed on this list for the game. He's not listed on this list at all, so that means that he's not active in this game. So unless they just didn't list him because they, like us, are like, Marco ain't playing. We'll see. Tony says Zach took one bad shot for whoever said he's been shooting low IQ shots today. Yeah, Zach hasn't been shooting low IQ shots. Like, I don't know where that came from. Next person to get ejected is probably DeMar. Oh my God. Like that at that point, like that's just like, come on, what y'all not even trying to cover it up, huh? LeBron is the golden child of the NBA until he retires. This definitely ain't the first game LeBron and his team have been favored by the refs. Won't be the last. That's from Jack Holland. Can't disagree with you there, brother. Can't disagree with you at all. These refs have been having the trigger whistle on deck. Yeah, all season. It's like players cannot show emotion anymore. And that gets into a dangerous spot when you start talking about players can't even show frustration, right? I understand when you're trying to show up the ref. I understand if you're cursing the ref out. I understand if you're getting in the ref's face. But for what Vooch did, a technical, okay. To eject him out the game, come on, man. That's just too much. That's too much. Yoslin says, if you think about it, this is probably the game the refs would favor the Lakers because it's LeBron's return. Man, we'll see. The Bulls players have to do a better job at stopping penetration and leaving people open. That's what she said. But hey, it is what it is. I think the NBA new tech box like hockey, that would be hilarious. That would be a penalty box. That would be hilarious. Instead of kicking players out the game, just like, hey, you go in the penalty box, 12 minutes. Malachi says, I just realized something. This season, Lakers fans get so mad about missed calls, but if you think about it, they're used to not getting fake calls. That's funny. But all right, y'all, that's it. We're going to go ahead. Game's back on. I'll be right here post-game show. Thank you. C-Red, go Bulls. Let's get this dub. Peace, y'all.